Well, if you fall into the category, this is the time of the year you start thinking about Medicare Advantage or your prescription drug plan and what options are available, or if you know someone who might need to decide what option they choose, which is best for them. Well, we decided to bring in from Humana, Chad Jones, who is a market manager. Thanks for being on the show with us.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Definitely, and I know that these are some different things that they need to be thinking about. It's always at the end of the year. If you already have a Medicare plan, one of these plans, do you have to re-enroll every year?
You do not have to re-enroll for original Medicare every year. Medicare is just something that you get and you stay on it indefinitely. However, the enrollment periods that are coming up now are the time of year where people can re-enroll or change their Medicare Advantage plans or their prescription drug plans.
Is there a deadline for selecting this?
Okay, so there's a couple of enrollment periods that are going to start. From October 1st till October 14th, we call that pre-enrollment. So pre-enrollment is simply a time where people can go out, look at different plans, do a little research. That's their research time, October 1st to October 14th. They can't actually enroll in a plan at that time. Agents can take applications, but they can't actually enroll at that time. Then from October 15th through December 7th, that's the time when people can actually make those plan choices and those plan changes.
What Medicare plan options are available? I mean, I know there's probably quite a few out there.
Yeah, there are quite a few options. I mean, number one, you can stay on original Medicare. There's plenty of people that just have original Medicare. But one thing they have to consider is that original Medicare actually doesn't include any prescription drug coverage.
Right.
There's drug coverage for things like when you're in the hospital or drugs that are given in a doctor's office. But for people that go pick up those drugs at a drugstore, most of those drugs aren't covered under original Medicare.
Your monthly prescription, so to
Exactly
speak, like
right.
blood pressure medicine or anything like that that you're on.
So those folks would have to pick up something called Part D or a prescription drug plan to go along with that to cover those plans. And there's a lot of different companies that cover those. Another choice would be a Medicare Advantage plan. So Medicare Advantage plans are ways for you to get your Medicare coverage through a private insurance company. Very simple. And most of those plans do include prescription drug coverage. That's the reason they're called MAPDs, Medicare Advantage Prescription Drugs. And then a third option is you could also pick up a prescription drug plan and add along a Medicare supplement. And those supplements help take care of some or all of the costs that original Medicare have.
How do you decide which plan is best for you, though? I mean, does it have to do with, let's say, age? Those that, like myself, I'm 62.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm right in that area where you start thinking about, do I want to retire early? Of course, I still have to wait till I'm 65 to get Medicare.
Yes.
But as opposed to someone older. So how do you decide which Medicare plan is right for you?
Age isn't as much of a factor as making sure that, number one, your drugs are covered. You want to, because each drug plan has a formulary, and you want to make sure that those drugs are covered under the formulary for the plan that you choose. For Medicare Advantage plans, you want to make sure all your doctors are in network, because most of the Medicare Advantage plans have a network. That's how they keep costs down. So those are your main determinators for that. So, the one thing, you can always do a lot of research. 1-800-MEDICARE, call that telephone number. They'll be more happy to help you. Medicare.gov is a great place to get some great information as well.
Right. Is there, I mean, it seems like every year something changes about Medicare. Is there anything new this year that people need to be aware of?
There is something new that's starting this year.
All right, pay attention. Pay attention, folks. Here it comes.
From January 1st till March 31st next year, they've changed something. So in past years, it was an annual disenrollment period. So if you were on a Medicare Advantage plan, you could actually drop that Medicare Advantage plan and go back to original Medicare and pick up a drug plan if you didn't like it. This year, from January 1st to March 31st, you're allowed to, if you have a Medicare Advantage plan, to change that Medicare Advantage plan to another Medicare Advantage plan, or go back to original Medicare and pick up a prescription drug plan. So it's a little bit of a difference than it has been in past years, and just want to make sure people that all are cognizant of that coming up for next year.
You said, of course, that Medicare does not cover prescription drugs. That's where you get the plans at. How are health insurers like Humana able to offer Medicare Advantage plans with no monthly premiums?
Medicare Advantage plans use the ability to try to keep people healthier to drive costs down, that along with network contracts. So there are plans in the state of Mississippi that are at zero cost. They're all across the country, but that's the main way that Medicare Advantage plans are able to keep those costs down.
You mentioned about your doctors and everything being in the provider network. How do I find out? I mean, do you just ask them, or do you have it? Is there a listing on the online or something?
All the carriers have online tools that will help people look up their doctors. If I could give everyone one big piece of advice is, I know a lot of people are very savvy when it comes to the internet. This is a whole new age when you're going into this insurance world. I would encourage them wherever they're at, find a licensed sales agent, have them come out to your house, speak to them, do your research, have them help you navigate through this, because the biggest areas where we see people really making mistakes is when they try to do this on their own, and it causes some real trouble because it impacts them up not only throughout their lives but also throughout the year.
Can it be an advantage to shop around?
Absolutely.
I mean, because
Absolutely.
one might be not more reasonable price-wise, a different plan than others.
Exactly, and that's the reason sales agents are so good at helping people navigate this, because they can help them make sure that their doctors are in network, look up their drugs for them, give them the advantages and the disadvantages.
How can they find out more information about what Humana has to offer as far as a 2019 Medicare Advantage plan?
Very simple. You can go to www.humana.com/Medicare.
That's on your screen.
It's on the screen.
Yeah.
And then we also have an office. We're very lucky. There's only a couple offices in the state of Mississippi, Humana offices, but retail offices. We have one right here on the Gulf Coast. It's at 2650 Beach Boulevard. Suite 31A. It's actually right across from Edgewater Mall in Edgewater Village. You can call us at 228-271-6800.
That number's on your screen too.
Yes, and the great thing about our office, number one, we have agents there from 9 o'clock till 4 o'clock every single day, Monday through Friday. And they're there to help people navigate through this. And we also have a customer service kiosk in there. If the Humana people have any problems with claims or issues, they can speak to a representative completely face-to-face over a little virtual TV set.
That's awesome. Some great new things. Thanks, Chad. Thanks for coming
Jim.
in
Appreciate you having us.
and educating everybody on this. A lot of new things coming up. So again, remember that eligibility time is here. So you can shop around and see, and then find out, shop around with any agents that can help you out, and find out if there's a plan that's right for you or someone that you love. Thank you very much.